Hi, good morning. My name is Dan, and this is Engelgeist. Welcome to my channel. This is the daily forecast for Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. This is also a timeless message, so if this is showing up in your feed or this video is playing on your computer or your phone randomly on a day that's not the 4th, don't worry, this message might be ready for you, or you might be ready for it. It might be something you need to hear. The daily forecast is always a request from Spirit to give us the message for the highest good for the greater collective, right? So although this is intended for the 4th of March, it's not necessarily only for that date. It is timeless. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can always hit the like button. You can share the video out. You can let your friends know about it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Like my Facebook business page, follow me on Instagram at Engelgeist333, or you can go the full mile and support me over at Patreon at Engelgeist333. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate it. Your support helps to keep this content going, and all support basically, like likes, shares, comments, subscribes, helps to keep me going. So I really appreciate it from all of you guys. What else was I going to say? If you guys are interested in a personal reading, I am available for those. You can message me either at Instagram or at my Facebook business page. Let's get into the energy for the 4th. We've been having a lot of pentacles or coins cards coming up this week. It's a very earthy week. It's all about like the idea of materialization, I feel like. This week, the focus is on that with a looking at our energy kind of thing. What are we creating with? Are we creating in fear? Are we creating in sadness? Are we creating in joy? Joy seems to be the key this week, guys. We need to find our joy, even if we think we don't have any. We need to seek it out. We need to look for the small joys in our life and bring them forward, because they're going to help us to sort of bring about some changes materially that we need to see happen, to be honest. We're in spring, or we're getting ready to go into spring. It's that time for forward movement and growth. It makes sense that these would be our focuses, especially in a new decade, and coming out of a retrograde, so we want to do that. Now let's see what the cards have to say to us. I'm just going to refer back to Sunday's broadcast. If you didn't watch it, Sunday is always the underpinning of the week. By midweek, which is today, Wednesday, we should be seeing that King of Coins energy. So we have this 8 of Wands. Interesting. Why am I feeling sort of like we are trapped behind something, like there's a fear in this? And I don't necessarily, the 8 of Wands does not indicate fear, but when I look at this card, I'm feeling like we're peering out, like we're afraid to create what we want. Wands is the element of fire, right? And Wands is the element of spirit also. Fire and spirit, right? And so when I look at this card, I see this to me appears like an eyeball. Do you see this circle in here? And it's peering out from behind this sort of, I don't know, spiritual defense mechanism we've created to kind of keep ourselves safe. Is there something that we don't want to see right now? Or is there something that we're afraid to address right now? Is there something that... And the 8 of Wands is not necessarily a bad card. It's usually about forward-moving progress. And it says here, I'm just checking their book too, it says progress, breakthrough, events moving quickly. To me, this feels more like, when I'm looking at this, I see the arrows that we've been seeing in the 7s. And to me, I mean, there is this sort of sense of security I see with this card, but I also feel like we're hiding behind that sense of security. Oh, it does say quarrels and harassment too. It could represent quarrels and harassments. Well, that's kind of crazy. Anyways, so to me, I feel like this, I'm just going to go with my intuitive feelings because that's what I generally do with every deck. But this is a new deck to me we've started it in March. But to me, we've got these 4 directions again going, right? And it sort of feels like the energy is getting a bit clearer, but we're more in protection mode, which I don't know that that's a bad thing. Okay, I am going to say that. I feel like we might be shoring ourselves up and getting a little bit more protective. This might be that King of Coins energy that we saw where he was grounded and centered, Or we might be going off of that track. We might be changing the energy if we're not believing in ourselves, or we're not finding enough of that joy that we were told at the beginning of the week is the creator of what we're doing. So if we're living in this place of sort of fear or worry, and also I've got to say too, the red and black of these cards make me feel that sort of, this deck is giving me sort of, I don't know, anxious vibes in a weird way. It's like we've sort of knitted this structure in front of us to keep ourselves safe, and then we're peering out behind it like, do we want to go out there? Do we want to do this? Are we 100% sure? And what I do think is the benefit of this eight of Wands, which is like that sort of fast moving energy, is that if we do jump out in front of this, we will move quickly, and we will move towards what we're creating. But my question is are we afraid of our own creations? Are we afraid of, creating the wrong thing? Is that what's holding us back? Or are we afraid of creating something that we maybe can't maintain? I can relate to that as an idea right now. Are we afraid of, not knowing what's coming next? So therefore we're just sort of waiting patiently behind these wands, trying to decide, taking in information with that eye and trying to decide what is our next best decision. I mean, these are questions that I pose to you guys because there could be a myriad of reasons as to why each of you might be waiting. But I feel like this being a Wands card, it does say to me that we are sort of needing to kind of pick a direction and utilize this dynamic energy to move forward. I also want to say that Spirit is all over this card, it being the Eight of Wands. I mean, and then where that takes me to is, has it ever occurred to us that maybe there is no wrong decision? No matter what we choose, Spirit will adapt to it and bring us to where we need to be in any given situation. Do we truly trust that? And then I want to ask, do we trust ourselves? Because with that King of Coins, I felt that trust, and I feel like we're peering out this eye behind us, this circle, the four directions with the circle. It really looks to me like we're trying to figure it out, but yet we're trying to keep ourselves safe while we're figuring it all out. Let's see what the Universe Back deck has to say. By the way, there are Amazon affiliate links in the description box of the video, so if you choose to buy one of these decks or are interested in purchasing it, if you use my link, I get a small percentage of the sale, which is a great way to support the channel. Also, I choose to learn through love. Okay, so this is very similar to yesterday's message, guys, about realigning with love. About sort of, and when I actually place this card with that Eight of Wands, it pulls the red out of that Eight of Wands for me in a way that sort of makes me feel like we do need to love a little bit more. We do need to allow that element of spirit but almost like allow it to come down. The red in here now becomes less sort of fearful, and it becomes more loving to me as I look at this card. I don't know if you guys see that, but it sort of feels like to me we might be afraid of being vulnerable to our own creations, to our own situations, to our own partners, to our own environments, right? But what we need to do is like sort of love where we're at, find those joys, find that peace, and we will learn. And we have to like actively, like I like the word choose in this card, because to me it feels like we really have to, it's a conscious choice, and that's where it gets scary. Because when we choose it, we're responsible for that choice. So it brings us to this place of, are we ready for that responsibility? Or do we want to sit and say, oh, it's everybody else's fault? It's my environment's fault. It's, out of my control. And I'm not saying that we can control everything, but we kind of can. We can choose what we put our attention on. I say that all the time. So to me, I just find it kind of interesting that we're sort of hiding and maybe afraid of our own choices that are available to us, and making those, because if we make them, there's no turning back. There's like a commitment that's been made. There's a promise. Remember the grounding stone from 2 days ago? That promise that showed up. That promise stone showed up. And when we make a choice to learn through love and to focus on love and realign with love and stay in that place of love, we might feel vulnerable. We might feel scared. But we have to understand that this to me says we're strong. We can handle it, but it's like we're hiding behind our strength, like fear, not fearing everything, but like worried. And so not sure which direction to go, kind of peering out from behind this strong wall of spiritual strength that we actually have access to that could bring about this ability to choose to learn through love. Now, the grounding stone is one of the smallest ones in the bag. It's on carnelian, which is a great grounding stone. It matches the color of our first chakra. We want to ground in this idea or thought. This is the idea of give. So to me, it's like, where can we give? Not only to ourselves, but to others. But I think with this Eight of Wands, I want us to give to ourselves first today. I want us to give ourselves this choice to learn through love. I want us to give ourselves love and security. I want us to feel that we have something to give to our lives, that we have something that's worth stepping forward and kind of, I don't know, like I look at this Eight of Wands and I think, you know, putting our wand in the ground, like setting our stake in the ground and laying claim to it and giving ourselves that gift, making that promise to ourselves, actively seeking out that joy, imagining the power of what we can create and how, and doing it from a place of love. There's definitely this focus on, with that imagined stone that we had on Sunday, on rose quartz, which was the heart chakra. And that's the underpinning of all of this, is like this heart chakra energy of what do we want to imagine for ourselves? How do we want to imagine it? How do we want to bring it about? And I think that some of us are just, myself included, we might be a little bit afraid of what we're choosing. Because if we make a clear and definitive choice and start to step in that direction, we have to trust ourselves. We have to like sort of be our own support. But what I have learned is that really that's the only sort of trust that we really need and that we should be seeking, is the trust within ourselves, our own spirit, our own soul, right? So we want to give ourselves that today. That is the word for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this makes sense. Please leave me a comment, a like, a share, a subscribe. Let me know what's going on with you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. All right, also check out my new Pick a Card. It is a collaboration with V Love and Crystals. She was nice enough to message me and collaborate with me, so please check that out. And in the description box, there is a link to her video that's also in conjunction with my video. So you would watch mine and then hers, or hers and then mine, whichever way you choose to. And it should tell you about where you might be able to manifest and find your luck and what your luck will look like in the month of March. Maybe we need a little bit of luck. Maybe that's what we need to give ourselves. All right, you guys, take care. I love you all. Have a great day. You know, trust yourself. Know that you're strong. You can do this. And really make the choice to learn through love. I'm going to try and do the same. Okay? Have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.